Here we go then. Vinnie Calabrese of Australia, 25 years of age, ranked at 111 in the world. What an occasion for him to face John Higgins here at the Wuxi Classic.
Bit pacey there from John. John beat Adam Whitchard actually 5-2 to get here, and Vinnie beat Anthony McGill from Scotland by 5 frames to 3, so that was a good win for him.
Also came through a wildcard round, Calabrese overcoming Xiao Xintong, so he's got a feel for conditions out there.
Great red there, held nicely for the pink. Confident pot. Vinnie will be aware that good form here. I think it's a question of him just trying to settle down pretty early actually. He's a good player. He's went off the circuit, back on it again actually. I watched him play 2 or 3 years ago. He can play, as they all can. But he's playing a legend in John Higgins.
Former Australian under-21 champion Calabrese, and practices with Neil Robertson in Cambridge, and he could have scarcely any better mentor, could he? Robertson, of course, who's done almost everything there is to do in the game. He's been world #1, world champion, Masters champion as well, so I'm sure Calabrese can learn a lot from his compatriot.
It's not a bad practice partner to have, is it? There'll just come a point you get a bit fed up digging the balls out, so you start to sort of try and pot some yourself. I had that luxury with Mr. Hendry up in Scotland.
Oh.
I think I was just ball boy and tee boy up there for a few months.
Winner of this, by the way, will play the colourful Deshawat Poomjang, who made quite a name for himself at the Crucible back in the spring, when his own particular brand of eccentricity won over the crowds. Stunning victory over Stephen Maguire before he lost out to Michael White. But Poomjang with a fine win over Dominic Dale in the last 64, so he'll be awaiting today's winner.
Well, he's just got there on the blue. It will cut into the middle, and my apologies for some of the stats. Actually, I thought Vinnie was on the main tour 2 years ago. This is his first time ever on the main tour. I know he played in a lot of the Pios events and stuff like that. I watched him play down there in Preston in North Wales. So this is a whole new experience for him on the main tour. It's not a bad little nudge. I think the match I'm going to keep an eye on And this session, Phil, is Jimmy Robertson against Graham Dott. We're over on table 3. But what a match that was that Jimmy Robertson had previously.
Yes, he played Zhu Yulong in a high-class encounter, both players scoring very heavily. Robertson just edging that one 5-4.
That was a cracker, wasn't it?
It was terrific stuff.
I mean, Zhu, only 15 years of age, but at stages he looked like he'd been out there for 15, 20 years.
He looks to have enormous potential, doesn't he?
Certainly does.
So the challenge for Robertson, having got past that hurdle, is to replicate that form. He'll need it, certainly, against the former world champion Dott.
Well, John had a look at the pack before he played that safety. It's a loose one. Nice nudge there. Well, he's run out of position. Might just be able to just clip off this red, tap the white down towards the yellow pocket. John was in great form, as we've said, in Sofia, beating Neil Robertson 4-1 in the final there. Played really well that weekend. He played Ronnie O'Sullivan in the semi-finals. We was all expecting Ronnie to come through and win it, but it didn't happen. John put Ronnie to the sword there.
Hasn't quite found his touch with the safety thus far, however, Higgins. Well, double kisses left. John Higgins a red on here.
Just had a quick look at Vinnie in the chair there, but he's played a lot on the secondary tour events, you know, like I said, the Pius and the Challenge and stuff like that, come through the Q score, but he actually came through the Oceania Championship this year to actually get back onto the main tour, but of course he hasn't got the experience of the top flight sort of venues and setups with TV and lighting, so it's just taken a little while to settle in.
Well, a shake of the head from Higgins. That was a surprising miss. Two big names, of course, falling by the wayside today. Judd Trump, the world number 3, beaten in his opening match here. What a performance by Li Hang to win 5-2 in that one.
It was.
And then we saw Mark Allen bow out to Peter Lyons in a final frame decider. It's true that Allen had very little in the way of luck in that deciding frame. Lyons rather rode his good fortune, but he got over the line. And when you consider that Mark Selby and Sean Murphy didn't manage to make it here to Wuxi following their surprise exits in the first round, the round of 128, quite a few big names have already been accounted for, and well, who knows, very early days, but Vinnie Calabrese may be dreaming of doing something similar to the Wizard. You mentioned you were going to keep your eye, Mike, on Jimmy Robertson's progress against Graham Dott. He made a pretty solid start. He's got a 69-point lead in the opening frame and is poised to take that one. Ali Carter in action this afternoon as well. Carter, who won the German Masters last season, lost out again to Ronnie O'Sullivan at the World Championship in the second round, having pushed him close in the early stages.
Well, don't tell me he snookered himself on that right-hand red. That was so unlucky. Well, he has done, because that was a good shot to try and get those reds open, but there's nothing on there.
Carter playing Alfie Burden, by the way. Liang Wenbo is up against the Welshman Jamie Jones. First frame still underway there. And Matthew Stevens has taken the first frame against Lu Ning. Encouraging start then for Calabrese. Very handy 49-point lead. Higgins does have a red to go at here though. Opting for safety. And he's overhit that massively, and well, Higgins, one of the best safety players of all time, but he's been way off the radar in this frame. That cue ball was supposed to be in baulk.
Yeah, two safeties. He's hit on the thin side, and obviously Vinnie could find the gap there. I think I was trying to say Oceania earlier on. Wasn't even easy for me to say.
Well, great opportunity here for the underdog to really settle the nerves and get the first frame on the board. He's looked confident around the table in these early stages.
Again, I was watching him play a few years ago when I was playing in the past stuff and all that, Phil, and all these lads can play, but when they get out there, it's a question of just getting themselves on to the next level. That's the thing. It's the confidence factor. They've got the talent. It's just having that self-belief that actually you can do it under these conditions. Good start here, though.
Yes, and he can relax now. The winning post long since passed in this opener.
Well, let's put it this way. There's not going to be a whitewash, is there? For him, anyway.
Wrong side of the pink, obviously, to get behind the red. So he's looking at the blue instead, screwing back.
Yes, this will be some shot to get onto the red. Oh, and it was. Wow, what about that one? Great shot.
Does just show the strength and depth of snooker these days, doesn't it? We're looking at a player ranked outside the top 100, stroking in balls like that. The final red doesn't drop, but that's academic. So a very encouraging start for Vinnie Calabrese. He's dominated the opening frame against John Higgins. Calabrese leads 1-0. The second frame is coming right up.